Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and today I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Capricorn. If Capricorn is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. All right, let's get started. And so this is a bonus reading for Capricorn. And today we have the Devil card. Don't worry, not a bad sign always. And obviously with Capricorn, not really a bad sign at all. All right, let's go ahead and see what these tea leaves have to say. So immediately I'm seeing we have the 15 right up here. So number 15, going to be a big one this next period of time, maybe in the next week. And now I want to mention that these readings are always timeless. Whenever you watch them, they are activated. And if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit the little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. So we also have, it looks like 41, 4-1, and then it looks like 4-1-1 maybe, but also 40. So I'm going to go with 41, or I'm sorry, 40. We have 41, but I'm also seeing 4-1-1 and 1-4-1. I know in this area that I live in, and maybe this is federal in the United States, I think 411 is information, right? Or is that 311? 411, right? Yeah, 411. So, information coming through. All right, let's go. I want to go up here and look at, where did you go? We have a beaver up here. Let me get my little stick. We have a beaver. You can see its tail. And then over here we have, it looks like a cat. Like at first I thought it was a cow, but I'm like, okay, no, this looks like a cat that is running. Like it's chasing something. Chasing something around. Now these ones are going opposite directions. So they're not chasing each other. And I really feel like this, to me, in a very animal world way, there's a lot of dualism here in meaning. With the beaver, immediately, you know, you think a busy beaver building, right? Going out, finding all of its things that it needs to kind of get its lodge going. Now I found out a beaver house is called a beaver lodge. It sounds like, I don't know, somehow a little more elite to have a lodge, right? So anyways, we see that there's a side, right, that really a part of you pulling towards wanting to build something, you know, profound for yourself within your life. And I think probably within the realm of relationship. Okay, now on this other side, we have the cat, and the cat is running, like it is, you know, hunting probably. But for the cat, as far as symbolism goes, this is a real independent being. Now, you might think, Lenor, cats are, most of them anyways, are domesticated. They're not that independent. I have to clean their areas, I have to clean their box, I gotta feed them, I gotta give them water. You know, maybe some of them live outside and come in. They're full of fleas and all kinds of things. You gotta take care of them. I get it, I know. But at the very core of a cat's personality, they're independent beings, okay? They do what they want. They absolutely do what they want. And they don't, you know, they come to you when they need you or they want you, right? If they want love, they're going to come and tell you, hey, pet me. I want to sit on you. I want some love, right? If they don't, Can you hold a cat down for very long? Can you hold it in your arms for very long? Not really. Not really. Unless you're, my daughter. She absolutely carries these cats around, or tries to. Pudgy's a little too big yet. And I try to keep her away from them. They're older cats. But she loves them, but a toddler, of course. They want to love their feline companions and stuff, and they'll put up with it to some degree. Now, if that was me, they would scratch me all up. You can see in my hands, usually I have scratches, and it's not because I'm, manhandling them or anything, but, cats, they do. They will scratch you up for no good reason at all. So, but we still love them, by the way, right? So I feel like there's this pull here between really kind of wanting to like further establish this closer bond, okay? Like I said, build up this household. And I think you're in a place where it's kind of like, is this a person for me? Or I'm with this person, we've tried really hard, it's been quite difficult, and now I have to decide, am I gonna stay, am I gonna go? Is it time to try something else? Maybe this is not the place for me. Or maybe I kind of, I double down and we work at this. We do whatever we can to try to make this thing go. And I feel like there's a sense of being torn here, okay? And we've all been there. It doesn't even have to be a romantic situation. This could be a roommate. This could be a family member. This could be your kids, right? You're like living with your parents, taking care of them, whatever it is. Not knowing really like how is this going to ever get resolved, whatever the turmoil kind of is, or maybe there's just a lack of satisfaction in the way that this part of your life, the domestic aspect, is configured, okay? And so there's this kind of going back and forth trying to figure out, what are we going to do here? What am I going to do? Now, I want to look over here. And I'm looking at this one as, it looks like a person riding a horse, and you can see the person up here. Okay, they even have their hand on the rein. And we have a flower. We have another flower right here. So for me, I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, when I see a person upon a horse, as far as a symbol, I know that this is movement, right? You're making a decision. You're getting into a place where, I know what I need to do. And now I'm going to like plan it out, right? Hopefully have a good plan. Don't do it. Oh, well, I'm talking to a Capricorn. So you probably won't just do it like, out of reaction, immediately just, put some stuff in a bag and take off. I don't think so. But, put your plans down, get everything kind of squared away, and then get on that horse and get moving, right? Moving on to the next thing. Now, that's not that you're literally moving out. I don't think, it doesn't have to be that, but just changing what's going on, okay? And so I see you coming into this kind of idyllic garden area, okay? So flowers growing in abundance in the fields, in the garden, whatever it is, okay? So there's a lot of opportunity here. There's, most importantly, an opportunity to have some ease and peace. If you can imagine kind of wandering out into an open space, the sun coming down and warming your shoulders, warming your head and your body, and not to the point where you're like, oh my gosh, I'm like sweating here. No, just enough to feel alive again, right? Out from under the oppression of a situation that maybe has made you forget yourself in some ways, not prioritize yourself. And so I feel this is a time where it's like, yeah, I'm going to be focusing on what I need now. Because if I don't, I succumb further and further to kind of becoming something other than what I feel I really am. Okay. Now up here we have the butterfly. So that tells me there is a real sense of self-evolution through this experience. Okay. And that might be that you're learning to, instead of this real cut and dry thing that we Capricorns do, and I'm a Capricorn ascendant, sometimes it's like we just kind of evaluate pros, cons, what is this gonna, and then it's like, well, I put too much into this, not working out, so I'm just gonna, it hasn't risen to the level of success in my mind, that I need. So I'm just gonna cut this right off, right? And no messiness. Capricorns do not like messy, especially when it comes to emotions and people and that kind of thing. So yeah, we'll just kind of cut it right off. Now, I think in this situation, there is definitely this kind of evolving in how do we reapply ourselves to certain areas? How do we tweak things? How do we get a little bit of this like building and a little bit of this independence, retain our ability to kind of do what we need to do as individuals, and kind of put that into this this family unit, this domestic unit, whatever it is. How do we kind of merge those things, okay, without feeling like we've lost any of the quality of our autonomy? And it's not easy, but it's something that if you want to have a successful shared space or life, or live with people, and I talk about this, immediately I think even of a romantic relationship, because those are it is hard. You might really love somebody, you go to live with them and build a life with them, and you find out, like, what are you doing? Like, we just are not compatible in that way. But this could be it could be. For me, I've had difficulty learning to live with a kid that's always making messes. I'm not the tidiest of people, but I spend a lot of my time cleaning, right? And I keep my house fairly organized. Listen, I'm not gonna like play it up for you. I really haven't. I had to learn how to clean when I was in my 20s because I just never knew. I wasn't taught. It's not something that is, kind of a innate quality that we just know how to do things like cleaning and cooking and all this kind of. I had to learn myself. I had to teach myself, and on YouTube. Shout out to YouTube for all the cleaning tutorials, and just people teaching me along the way, right? But now living with a young kid. If you've had young children, I only have one, and it's enough for me, trying to keep up with it. And I have difficulties all the time because I'm a very solitary person. I want to get out of here. I want to, if I could just build a little hut in the backyard, right? And that's where I'll stay. But that's not always it's not always realistic. So we have to learn to kind of merge these things together. And I think that this is a time when you're really working on that, because I think that, this situation is important to you. You know, whoever it is, whatever it is. Also, it might be due to financial things or whatever. That's always a big aspect too. How many of us can afford to have, you know, more than one residence? You know, I know there are people out there, supposedly, and I say that because it seems wild to me, you know, that have like, they own more than one place or whatever. And I guess, yeah, you could probably, you know, both live in a separate place, but I don't know, that seems like a mystical fantasy to me. So the rest of us in the world here, yeah, we're financially tied to like where we're at, you know, and sometimes we rely on our roommates and our spouses or our family who we live with to all share the weight of the bills. And so it's not as easy as like, I'm just going to get up out of here and, you know, move away. So, you know, it's something to definitely continue to figure out for your own peace, right? But also, as I say, this seems like a pretty important relationship dynamic, okay? So for the health of that, right? Instead of just being kind of annoyed or kind of living as a very, you know, solitary person within a household where, you know, maybe you'd like to interact more or they want you to, and, you know, you just kind of exist. Although, listen, I've had roommates where I never saw them. We never saw each other, and that was pretty awesome. I'm not gonna lie about that. So anyhow, we have an A and a J right there, AJ. So if the name AJ means anything, it's right there. Let's see, I want to see if we have, oh, this one right here. So we have some kind of little animal running. And see, to me, it looks like the cat again, but it's like running the other way towards the beaver. So I feel like there is a sense of this thing working out. And we also have fish in here. So I almost wonder, you know, through finding resolve, like having some kind of resolve, finding a resolution to some of these whatever problems that are happening, then being able to really excel financially, being able to at least put some money away, start saving, right? Paying down the debt and all of that. And so I do think that, you know, and it shouldn't be the number one thing. Of course, I'm not, you know, I'm not like a super materialist person. Even literally a materialist in that I don't necessarily put a lot of value in waking life, although I should try more, right? I do my best. I am a sucker for, you know, the spiritual realms, but you know, it's something to consider. If somebody tells you that all, you know, their emotions, the love of the family and love of independence and all this is always more important, don't even consider the financials, I don't believe you. I'm sorry. If you do, good for you. I don't know how you get to that point, but I'm a Virgo. I'm solar Virgo. I worry about paying my bills and getting things done, you know, that I have, you know, are my goals, or I've said that I will do. So that, yeah, you have to make some money. I'm not saying you have to be a bazillionaire, although, you know, a lot of people are driven by that, which is fine. But, you know, to meet your goals, at least, your responsibilities. And that has to always be a factor, you know, for at least most people. And so I do see this kind of rising as things kind of come into a place of balance for you. Now, let's see. This is I love this when we have the people sitting. We have a person right here sitting. Now I'm looking at this and it looks like a time of having a lot of, and I have to set this down so I can get a drink. I'm done with the flu. I have the residual effects, right? I feel so much better, but I still sound kind of cruddy, and my throat gets dry easily. So anyways, yes, sitting and in I imagine a meditative state, but maybe you don't meditate. You know, maybe a lot of people do not. But it almost feels like having visions, a lot of synchronicities popping up. We have a 7-7 right here. We have somebody with a kind of a frowny face up there. I don't think this is involved with you so much, but because it's so far out here. Excuse me. But I do feel like maybe somebody within the work environment just having a really bad attitude lately. But it's in your psyche. It's in the, you're considering things with this. What do you do? How do you help? Do you not engage with it? That kind of thing. But I also see, again, we have the butterfly, we have a question mark, we have the sevens. And I feel like, yeah, there's like we have illuminating candles. I feel like it's just a really potent time for you. There's a lot of like desire to solidify aspects of your life. And that's what it really feels like to me. Like you're in a place where you're like, I'm willing to do the work so I can get things exactly where I want them to be, right? Or at least in the realm of where I imagine that I would like them to be. And I feel like the universe is really kind of excited to be helping you out here, okay? I know a lot of our readings, we talk about like your work, your career, making shmoney and all of that. This is a part of Capricorn that is really prominent, and that's okay, right? But I do feel like, this right now, and this is an aspect of what's going on, but right now it's about a lot of the self-work, but also flowing into this domestic realm of your life. And I think the universe has your back on this. So I'm excited. I'm excited for you. I can't wait to kind of see, how this kind of plays out in the next few readings, what's going on. If we have any updates about this. And let's go ahead and do our Wild Offering Oracle cards. I really, really love these cards so much. Okay, let's see. I'm just going to flip through and stop where it feels right. I always kind of close my eyes while I do this. I don't know why. I don't know what the cards are or what's going to come up. Oh, positivity. It says, if you can find even one thing to be grateful for, it will restore you to the light. Please, dear God, let me always feel gratitude for something, even a tiny thing, in even the hardest situations. Yeah. Listen, getting into a place, and it's not even just positivity. I mean, yes, I like, I value this positivity card. But the gratitude is the thing. It is one of the ultimate keys of existence, I think, is being able to look for the things that you find of value in the situation, the things that you can accept as, this is kind of a blessing for me, right? I am lucky to have this. I am lucky that this is happening. I have so much gratitude. I respect and, am beloved unto, spirit, the cosmos, the things that had to align, right, to make something happen in your life or not happen, right? And getting into a mindset like that, priceless. It absolutely is. So, yeah, definitely gratitude is the key. So anyways, Capricorn, I'm going to tell you I love you because I do. And I thank you so much for spending this time with me. It is always such an honor to be able to bring these messages to you. And if you would be so kind as to like the video, it really does help the channel. And if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit that little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. It is free to subscribe. And yeah, if you'd like to leave a comment, please do. I'd love to hear from you. And so I thank you, and we'll talk in a couple days from now. Have a wonderful day.